You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox on KLOS. It is 5 minutes after 12 bells. My voice sounds a bit weird today, doesn't it? Sound weird? Like nasally? Allergy? I had me local honey this morning, so maybe it hasn't kicked in yet. My guest is Joe Bonamassa.
How's it going?
I did say that right, didn't I?
Perfect.
Okay. Excuse me. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm honored to be here with a legend, and I've been a longtime fan. I've been living in Los Angeles for almost 14 years, and I've listened to the show, and so I'm honored to be here. This is a lot of fun.
I'm glad you came in. Now, you was telling me before we started that you came in here when it was KLOS, when it was Mark and Brian, and you recorded in one of these studios?
We set up here twice. The second time, we brought the entire band, drum kit and all, and we played live on the air, and it was as loud as they've ever heard music played in this radio studio. And we brought in the full back line, the amps. It was, it was the loudest, one of the loudest events I've ever been involved with. But yeah, that was the last time I was in the studio.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's nice. I live pretty close to here, and it's a real honor to be here.
Well, thanks for coming in. Now, you're holding some fabulous. Is that like the Jimmy Page type guitar?
It is. It's a
59.
A 59 Les Paul, and I'm a guitar collector. And the thing about it is, I started. My father had a guitar shop a long time ago, and the disease and the collecting bug bit me as a kid. And what I would do is I would do odd jobs around the neighborhood. I'd play a few gigs, and I'd sock away a little bit of money, and I've spent all my money on guitars, going back to when I was a kid. And now I'm almost 39 years old, and nothing's changed. I'd rather be surrounded by guitars than have $15 in my pocket.
Now, do you ever get rid of any guitars, or do you just keep all of them?
On a very rare occasion, I take the bottom 10% of my collection and I sell it off to fund
to get something better.
To get something better, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. But when something leaves the house, I always second guess it,
yeah.
and I get like nervous and I start shaking and I have to leave the room. So then I was watching A&E, and they have that show Hoarders.
Yeah.
And I go,
you're one of them.
I'm one of them. Only I'm not surrounded by piles of trash. I actually have piles of amps and guitar cases.
Yeah.
And it's a choice in lifestyle.
Yeah. Maybe we should start Guitar Holders Anonymous.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm a sucker for old guitars. I used to look at books and just go, read about them, look at them, be around them. And, I've been successful enough with my little blues band to afford some really nice ones. And as long as the electric bill is paid and as long as there's lights on in the house, I feel comfortable,
Now, do you get these guitars like wherever you go, like Australia, wherever you go? Do you always looking when you got like a few hours off? Do you always say, where's the local guitar shop? I'm going to go in there.
Absolutely. And at this point, they know I'm coming. They don't know when.
They start polishing stuff up.
They know I'm coming. And, I just bought a guitar in Australia. I was there for a week.
Oh, you did?
Visiting my girlfriend, so I brought it back. And, I go all over the world, and, stuff finds me. There's a point as a collector and a player when they know you're into it. It finds me.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
They want to make a few bucks.
They want to make a few bucks. And you let them make a few bucks, but you don't let them take you for a ride.
Have you been taken, like, when you think you're getting something that you're not, or do you know the ins and outs of?
I'm pretty shrewd.
Took a while to get there.
I haven't bought any fakes, you know, and like anything, there's fake artwork, there's fake guitars, there's fake cars. You just have to know what you're doing. The biggest danger of being a guitar collector or any collector is just having more money than sense. You just want to get a big collection really fast, and that's the risk. Because you end up buying a bunch of fakes that are not authenticated, and you get taken.
Yeah,
it's real easy.
I've sold a few fakes, but not to you.
No,
but I could sell you one.
You could,
I don't even have my original one, my white Les Paul. you seem like more of a Les Paul than anything else when you come back to your basics. Is that your favorite guitar?
It's my daily driver. I have Fender guitars and other stuff, but if I had a desert island question, it'd be a Gibson Les Paul. The only
Yeah.
problem is on a desert island there's no power, so what are you gonna do? Plug it in? Like
Yeah.
I always never understood that question. If you could bring one album and one guitar and one amp, and you're stranded on a desert island like Tom Hanks, you know, in that movie,
Yeah.
with a volleyball that you make your best friend, like what would you bring? It's like, well, is there electricity? Is there an air conditioner? Where are you gonna plug it in? You got nothing.
Well, I think there's ways now to plug things into coconuts, and you can get like power from a phone. Ain't there a way to like get power from a phone out of an orange? I've seen it on Facebook. You know what I mean? Ain't you seen them people
Yeah.
where they charge something with like sticking it in a banana or something and it charges?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that. I'm not sure if that's true or not either. You know,
That could be fake too.
that could be fake.
But anyway,
That's the problem with 2016. It's like, you know,
at least you can look at the album on an island.
at least you can look at it.
You
And you know, I mean, eventually, I would imagine if you're stranded on an island, the voices in your head start becoming real people.
You start
And
hearing the album.
you start hearing the album, you know, and it's probably better than the real thing.
Okay, talking about albums, what album would you take to a desert island?
Oh, I would take B.B. King live at the Regal.
That's your favorite, hands down.
It was my first album I bought with my allowance. I went to Camelot Music in upstate New York, where I grew up, and my father said I can buy one album, and I went through and I found B.B. King live at the Regal. I just love the picture of him with that big Gibson guitar,
Yeah.
and I put it on the record player, and it changed my life. I want to be a blues singer. I want to be a blues musician, and that was it. I was hooked.
Yeah.
I was hooked.
How old was you when you got the bug?
I started playing guitar when I was 4.
4 years old.
So this year,
That's why you're pretty good.
I will have been playing guitar almost 35 years.
Fantastic.
I don't remember a time when I didn't have a guitar. My whole life has been defined by 6 strings and some mahogany. You know, it's like
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
sad if
Yeah.
you think about it.
Well, it's okay. You're good at it,
Yeah, you know,
and you make a living at it, and you're happy. Who cares what people think?
I made an honest living out of playing blues guitar. Not bad.
Your dad, is he a guitar player, isn't he? Your dad?
My dad, guitar player. My grandfather was a trumpet player, and my great-grandfather was a trumpet player. So 4 generations of Bonamassas have made money in this hideous business we call the music industry.
Yeah. Where's that name from? What is that?
Northern Italian.
So you got Northern Italian. in
Yeah,
there.
I actually had a woman come to a gig in Paris, and
She
she was
had-
this very nice Cameroonian woman who was very excited to meet a Cameroonian artist because apparently Bonamassa has Cameroonian roots. So my tour manager brought her back, and he goes, "Does he look Cameroonian to you?" She's like, "He is not from Cameroon," and then left.
Oh, she got upset
She was upset.
because you had that name.
Yeah, but I think it's Northern Italian. Do I look Cameroonian to you?
No.
No, not at all. That's, you know, that's always been the thing.
Oh well. Can't please everyone. Do I look like a Jones to you?
Yeah,
Do I look Welsh?
no.
I'm not. Jones is a common name though.
Right.
Obviously.
Hmm.
So your influence, you got like some good English players you like. I know you like Gary Moore, right?
I love Gary Moore. The first thing I ever heard from an English guitar player was Eric Clapton, and he played a song called "Further On Up the Road." It was the Bobby Bland tune, and he did it on a live record. My father played it for me, and I was like, "Wow, that's what I want to do. That's the kind of blues I want to play."
He was solo at that point, or was just like
He was solo. This was in the in the early '80s, and then I got introduced to Jeff Beck,
Yeah.
and when I heard him do, when I heard that,
that was me, by the way. I just chimed in. I got bored with what he was saying. I thought I'd play a bit of guitar.
And then when he like, and he'd do all those slides, and I was like, okay, now it's time to get to work. And I used to-
Change gear.
Yeah, and I was like, I was this American kid who was just enthralled with the British blues. I wanted nothing to do with pop music that was on the radio in the '80s. I wanted nothing to do with anything else other than a Gibson guitar, a Les Paul, through a Marshall amp, and trying to be a bad Jeff Beck.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've succeeded being a bad Jeff Beck.
I was watching some videos of him a few weeks ago, and I noticed he does his bends with a whammy.
Yeah.
Is that like a new thing with him?
I think he's been doing that for a long time. But, I was a fan when he had the Les Paul, and he was doing basically a amped up blues band, with Rod Stewart singing, Ron Wood on bass, Mickey Waller.
Steam Packet. No, that wasn't a Steam Packet. That was Beckola.
Yeah, Beckola and Truth,
Truth was with him. I got to stop charming him. He's talking.
So, yeah, that's what got me hooked. And it was the Jeff Beck group. It was Cream. It was when I heard it was like Cream live at Winterland. I think everybody learned that solo.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah. And when you learn that solo, and when you learn all these things, that's what I did when I was a kid. I didn't.
So you just played to records.
I jammed along with records, cassettes actually.
Yeah.
I had a cassette deck that I inherited from my grandparents, and my grandmother bought it for me for Christmas. It was this little crappy solid state cassette deck.
Yeah.
I turned it all the way up. It was really distorted, and I had a small amp, a Silvertone amp, that was just slightly lower in volume than the cassette deck. And all I would do is just spend my afternoons
in the bedroom.
Yeah, that was it. That was my whole life.
Yeah.
And, my parents used to kick me out of the house because I used to just practice.
Yeah.
You should go, socialize, have friends. And I was like, I don't know, how do you do that?
So do you think you think by doing that for years and years, you lost out in being social?
Yeah. And I think that now makes me good at my job.
Yeah.
I think all that pent up social interaction that was not happening as a high school student is now making me good at my job.
Yeah.
All all entertainers and performers are a little twisted.
Sure.
If you meet have you ever met a normal musician, like somebody who was good at paying bills?
Never. I don't think I've ever paid a bill.
Was hip to what cell phone plan they had, was up early religiously, up at 7 a.m., and reading the newspaper. Have you ever met a musician that does that?
Well, wait till you get older.
Yeah, but that's still.
How old are you now?
38.
Yeah.
About to be 39.
But I've never paid a bill, and I'm the worst business person in the planet. I've been taken many times because I'm stupid in that department. I just don't have that gene.
You know what I always say? It's people like musicians and entertainers. We're not good at real life.
Yeah. But there's some who fake being musicians who are very good business people and have made a lot of money because they have the business skills.
That's right. I'm not one of them.
I know you're not, hon. You're okay. Do you like Mick Ronson?
I do like Mick Ronson.
I think he was a fantastic guitar player. He's probably my Jeff Beck.
Right.
Although he liked Jeff Beck.
He did.
And Jeff Beck liked Hank Marvin.
Yeah.
There's like a chain there,
Yeah.
So let's play a bit of Mick Ronson. This is David Bowie doing Crack Actor. We're here with Joe Bonamassa, your Jonesy's Jukebox, KLOS.